Julissa, we're ready for you. Rápido. Julissa, I'm waiting. Julie. Hey, hello? Me, Julissa. I know who you are.
Anybody have tape?
Here. I'm so glad I'm not into this business.
Could be a newfound career.
You never know. Come on.
Okay, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm so excited to be in the kitchen today with my tia Carmen. We're making arroz con pollo. Everyone has kind of their own take on it too, right?
They do, yes.
But today we're making it tia Carmen style. You already started, I see.
I had to. Hello.
It's me, Julissa, and my tia Carmen. You know when I'm in ATL, I have to stop by my aunt's and get some of her cooking. For 8 months I was living out here, and I'm sure you also saw the difference in my weight because I can't resist her cooking. Today, we are gonna show you guys, well, she's gonna show you how to make arroz con pollo. Okay, so since you've already started, we've gotta give them the step-by-step here.
Yes, but you took forever, so. First of all, I put some sour orange, a little bit of soy sauce for the coloring. And this seasoning here, I prepare with fresh garlic, cilantro, onion, green and red peppers. Put some oregano, Dominican oregano, because it's very flavorful. Salt, and then we put it in your blender, and this is what you get.
Basically, sofrito.
Sofrito, yeah, what I call it, sazon.
Sazon. How much chicken would you say that is?
That's gonna be about 2 pounds of chicken. So everything is already in the chicken. I put 1/4 and then half of it. I never measure, I'm sorry, I'm Dominican. Just use your eyeball, I eyeball everything, okay? Ideally, I try to season it maybe an hour before, put it in the fridge, let it sit, and then you prepare to cook.
Okay, so now what's the next step?
Heating up the oil.
I can be your sous chef.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yay!
I'll get to work.
This pan looks old because it's 51 years old. When I first got married, I got these.
I mean, 51 years, they do say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, right?
Well, mine has been all over the world. He was a marine engineer, always came back to mama. When you get married, this is some marital advice. It's a two-way street. Take and give, you know, you can't just
Really?
gimme, gimme, gimme.
I thought it was a one-way.
No. Yeah, of course.
I thought it was my way or the highway.
That's today's women.
I thought it was happy wife, happy life.
Well, that's true. He makes me happy. That's why I waited for him every time, so.
That's true.
So the pan is hot already. It's just enough oil.
That's about enough to coat the pan on the bottom.
It's about quarter cup.
Yeah, quarter cup of oil.
You don't even know what that is. Okay, so now,
I can give you guys the close-up.
now that the oil and the sugar is really caramel.
Oh, you put sugar in there? We missed that part. I was getting my phone.
Well, I sprinkle a pinch, I want to say like a teaspoonful of sugar, brown sugar.
Okay.
And you put it in there until it's caramel.
Ooh, yep. You want to make sure that the oil is nice and hot. I'm so excited for this meal. You guys have no idea. During quarantine, if you were following me, then you saw that I was making a lot more food, I think, that I've ever made in my life. And all of those recipes were by way of her and I texting and me calling her up.
And it wasn't fun because it was 8 o'clock over there, 11 o'clock over here.
That's how I know she loves me, because she still answered.
Once you put in your chicken in the hot oil, you're going to let it heat for maybe just searing it or burn, or like making it brown.
Yeah, caramelizing it.
I don't like white chicken in my rice. Or stewed chicken.
We need the chicken to get some color. Brown sugar in the hot oil is gonna give your chicken some color. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could smell through this screen. It's so good. The oregano that she brings from Dominican Republic,
you can smell it.
The minute you open that bag, you can smell it from a mile away. It's so good. The chicken's starting to get some color.
It's sort of like searing the chicken. Turn it around.
I think she's making enough for me and the whole crew.
I don't know how to cook a little bit, I'm sorry.
Always gotta have leftovers.
Oh yes, for somebody that I know. Leave it there a couple of more minutes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add chopped onions, red pepper, green pepper. I already have the onions chopped up.
So you cover the chicken?
I do.
I don't trust people who don't eat. Who don't like to eat.
She can eat. Since she was little, she eats like a man. She was always skinny.
It goes to my feet. I'm pushing a size 10 over here.
Sometimes she would call me when she was staying here for 8 months and say, "What are you cooking today?" I wasn't. But because she lives so far away and she doesn't get to eat Dominican food, I say, "Yeah, sure. I'll make something. Tell me what you like."
Yeah, because on the West Coast, in LA especially, it's really hard to find Dominican food. You actually can't find it. It's pretty much non-existent. So you know I took full advantage of living in Atlanta for 8 months. I would go over as much as possible. Everybody saw the difference on camera. They're like, "Oh, Julissa, someone's looking a little healthy."
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice anything.
You're gonna see this Arroz con Pollo on camera.
My peppers are chopped, the onions chopped.
Did we check on the chicken? Oh yeah, I see it's getting some color now. I wish you guys could smell it. I wish.
Mira, let me take the tongue. It's better to turn it around. See? Like this.
My very first show that I ever hosted was actually based in Miami, Florida. They used to live in Pembroke Pines, which is basically, I guess, a suburb outside of Miami. I just always remember her being in the kitchen. I would literally...
When you were little.
Yeah.
On weekends, you used to spend the weekend with the girls. Always with a hairbrush, singing and whatever.
Hosting,
yeah.
yeah.
I have all my chopped ingredients. I like to use Chardonnay wine or whatever kind of white wine you have at home. But if you don't and you have beer, you can have a beer. To cover the chicken, you'll see what I mean. And if you still need more, then you're gonna have to use some chicken broth. Because American chicken has no flavor. So we like to, in Santo Domingo, we have chicken fresh from the farm and you don't have to add anything basically because it's so tasty, so good and fresh. And even though I bought the organic chicken, still not the same.
Oh yeah, that chicken looks nice and brown and caramelized. Oh, now we're talking. Oh yeah.
So now that the chicken has some color in it, turn them around, trying to make every piece even. Everything should look like this. This is what's left over when I season the chicken. Now I'm going to pour that over.
Wow. I mean, all that flavor.
I don't use chicken cubes because chicken cubes have too much sodium.
Chicken bouillon, but in a paste, if you will.
But in a paste, but it has less salt.
But with less salt.
This will be like a tablespoon and a half
Okay.
of it, and you put it like so. Take your chopped onions, put it in there, peppers. Oops.
It's okay.
And then alcaparrado, which actually has capers, olives, and red pepper. Some type of is marinated and it's really good. Put some of that in. Wow. For this particular dish, because there's 2 pounds of chicken, 2 tablespoons of the chicken broth, and maybe a tablespoonful of the olive salad. They call it olive salad.
Wow, look at the chicken now. Now we're talking.
So now we leave it there for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to add my rice. You can use any type of rice. I prefer the jasmine rice. Actually, I'm so used to using it that I use it for everything. I'm going to use 3 cups of rice. You'll be amazed to see how much rice you get from 3 cups when it's dry, as opposed to when it's cooked. It's 1 cup, a generous cup. 2 cups, 3 cups, okay?
So she always rinses.
Always wash my rice, because I don't know who put their hands on this rice. My rice is washed.
Okay.
The beer is gonna come in now. Take some of the beer first.
Oh, yes. I can't stress this enough. I wish you guys could smell this.
And I'm gonna put some of the beer.
Wow. Some for the homies,
Yes.
you know, that aren't here with us.
Put it on high so that it simmers right away, because the chicken is already cooking so fast.
That chicken's gonna be fall off the bone.
I'm going to let it cook a little bit and let the liquid or the beer evaporate a little bit. I'm gonna take some pieces, like I said, out to save it for later, and I'll show you what to do with it at the end. Hello?
Oh, sorry, I was posting you.
No, don't post me yet.
Oh, okay.
Let it be.
Oh, okay.
This is where I'm gonna put my chicken that's already cooked. If you noticed, oh, you don't have the,
Oh, the phone?
yeah.
Oh, you just took it from me.
Oh, is that what you're using? Oh, okay.
Is that what you're using?
Well, some of us don't have that type of phone. Okay. Look at this sauce. These pieces usually fall apart when you're cooking it extra time with the rice. So that's why I tend to just take out some of the drumsticks.
Because then all the chicken on the drumsticks, if it stays in there, it'll just
fall apart.
and then you'll just have random bones all in your arroz con pollo, and you don't really want
See,
that.
the thigh I leave, some of the white meat I leave. There you go. And then I take some of the sauce. Now, we don't have all that chicken, and I have room for my rice. And the goodness of the sauce and the chicken and all that is gonna be there. I'm gonna put my rice in.
Look at the chicken that she put aside. So these pieces, you can already see they're starting to fall off the bone. Oh wait, she's adding the, okay, hang on. So now she added the rice. Mix it all up.
Mix it all up.
Wow. I was so into the food, I wasn't even recording. I got it, now I got it.
She's such a fat girl. She's a skinny fat girl.
Can we not be offensive, please?
I'm happy with my life. I'm happy where I am, because some people are younger than me already in a wheelchair in the supermarket because they can walk. So now, to have enough fluid, let's say, I'm gonna put the chicken broth.
About how much chicken broth?
Eyeball. 2 cups.
Okay.
So
About 2 cups.
So,
Remember,
yeah.
common sense and eyeballs.
Still, this is still not enough fluid. So I'm gonna put a little bit more.
Okay.
The color of the rice is perfect. I don't have to put anything else. Taste it.
Okay.
Taste the beer. Todavía, because it's not cooked. Really?
That's me in the kitchen. I don't want to get burned.
You can tell she's been in the kitchen a lot.
Listen, I stick to what I know.
So, there you go. That's the test. If the spoon stands in the middle and it doesn't fall, that means that it fell. It fell. But it should be fine. Okay. So now you're gonna let the rice cook until all the fluid evaporates. I'm gonna show you what to do with the cilantro.
Cilantro gives such a nice aroma too.
Well, a lot of people don't like cilantro because because I grew up with cilantro for everything. If you have a stomach ache, boil some water with an egg and some cilantro and garlic, and that will help your stomach settle. So cilantro was used for most everything. I'm gonna put this here.
On the side?
On the side. When I cover the rice, I'm going to prepare a side dish, which is maduros or yellow plantains, which I prepare.
So you don't cover the rice?
Yeah, I'm gonna cover it when it's evaporated.
Oh.
Not yet.
Right about now, you will have the rice on medium?
On medium until the fluid evaporates. These plantains, I buy them frozen. Any kind will do because sometimes you can't find the perfect ripe plantain and you have to actually go to this. It's so good, it's like dessert.
Now I'm gonna blow up your spot though because this is a shortcut to making maduros.
Yes.
One thing about Dominican culture is we love plátanos. However, plátanos can be a lot of work. When you want your maduros, but you don't want to put in all the work for the maduros, you can buy them frozen. And this is a quick way of getting that same flavor.
Don't just take it out of the freezer and stick it in the oven. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give you measurements again.
350, 450?
375.
375.
I'm going to sprinkle the sugar, brown sugar, stick of butter, real butter. I don't use margarine. You don't overdo it, of course. But this is the way I do it. Little squares. Yummy.
Yummy.
Butter makes everything better. Butter better. Cinnamon.
Wow, do you guys smell that cinnamon?
This is Dominican cinnamon, okay? So don't be afraid to show it because it doesn't have a brand, it's just cinnamon. It's supposed to be like this. Stick it in the oven for about 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Now the rice is ready for me to move it around.
So basically now you'll see it's absorbed a good amount of all the liquid.
All the fluid, yeah. All the liquid that was there is gone. Move it around.
One thing about rice that I've noticed is you kind of have to let it do its thing. You have to let it sit. You know, sometimes when you're in the kitchen, you want to check on things every second. With rice, that's actually not a good idea because you need it to absorb.
Now comes the cilantro part where I crushed it a little bit, not too much, just broke it. Sit it on top of the thing.
Of the rice?
Of the rice, yeah, the top of the thing. Top of the rice. Hey, I'm senile, okay? Just sprinkle a little bit of the olive oil, 2 tablespoonfuls. So that way your rice is not going to be that dry. And you cover.
And then that's it?
It's going to be like
a agua ni nada. I'm just asking.
See what I mean? It's going to be between medium low, not too high, not too low. Let the rice cook. It's going to do its thing. The plantains are in the oven.
But I put that there ready for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, look at that! Woo!
Yeah, she gets excited.
The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That should apply for women too. It applies to me. I'll tell you that much. You see all of this? It's fantastic. However, my absolute favorite thing about rice is what you hear sizzling back here. The pot is still on, and it is currently making what we call con, which is basically crispy rice. Because at the bottom of the pot, it gets nice and burnt. It's really burnt rice, but it tastes so good.
Yeah, but mine doesn't burn. It's golden.
Hers doesn't burn. No. Other people's burns. What? I'm so excited. The way I'm gonna be watching back my own video to see this recipe. So voila! Voila! This is the final presentation of my tia Carmen's arroz con pollo with maduros baked in the oven. But now it's time for the taste test. And, you know, I can't do it alone. Standing by, Liz!
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen arroz con pollo like
Damn,
that?
Titi, you threw down.
See.
So this is the thing.
The men behind the camera, are you guys going to taste some?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah? She got real quiet.
Wow.
Good? Salt is good, on point?
It's on the money.
Are you gonna eat or no? Because I never see you eat the food you make.
Vegan.
Buen provecho.
Buen provecho, bye.
I hope you guys have figured out how to make the best arroz con pollo I think you'll ever make in your life.
Everything is
Yes.
there.
Yes.
So good.
Thank you so much. And don't forget when you're cooking, especially Tia Carmen's recipes, use common sense and eyeball it.
After 51 years, you don't need to measure. Con la boca llena.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.